My kitchen is a little dirty because human beings actually live here. Hello, Curiosities! My name's Kiri Callaghan, and you're watching the third day of my 30 and 30 and 30. That's 30 days of 30 things that I've learned in my 30 years on this planet. Today I want to teach you something that I've been perfecting since I was 6. When I first learned to make an iteration of this, it was using a toaster and a microwave. Now, obviously, I'm allowed to use the stove. You've probably guessed by now I'm talking about grilled cheese sandwiches! Now, before we actually get started, I feel like it's important for me to lay down a few things. I get a weird amount of pushback on food. I don't know why. Taste buds are something that are completely unique to each person, so you can't really go and be like, no, you're wrong. No, my taste buds experienced it this way. Yours experienced it a different way. That's great. There is really no right or wrong. They're called taste buds because it's to your taste. However, that being said, I know a lot of people like to do gourmet grilled cheese, and I'm probably gonna get completely ruined because I am not about that. Look, if you want to have gourmet grilled cheese, that's great. I'm totally excited for you. For me, that's not grilled cheese. Like, it's delicious, don't get me wrong. Like, when you're like, there's 4 different cheeses on it, and we used this special bread that was blessed by monks, and that's great. And the millions of spices that go into it, that's fantastic. But to me, that's not grilled cheese. To me, grilled cheese is like it's sitting on the couch with your mom or your dad or your siblings or just your friends on a rainy afternoon. And it's pouring outside and you're watching cartoons and you went outside and you're kind of soaked still, you got blankets around and you're drying up and you got this delicious warm cheese sandwich and it tastes like home. That's the goal here. Because in my opinion, grilled cheese isn't a fancy lady. She wants to watch Netflix and curl up on the couch. She doesn't want to put on high heels. She doesn't want to get dressed up. She doesn't want to have a date with 5 different cheeses. She's an easygoing gal. She's from home. Not to say that there's anything wrong, again, with gourmet grilled cheeses. They're fantastic. They're quite tasty. But to me, not grilled cheese. It's something entirely different. Something beautiful and unique on its own. So what I'm going to do today, and you're going to have to trust me on this wild ride, because some of these ingredients are so simple and so cheap that you're going to go, that's going to be gross. But I need you to trust me on this. We're going to make a grilled cheese sandwich that tastes like home and childhood. Let's get started. Kids love it because it's the cheesiest. You ready? Because for this grilled cheese, you're going to only need 4 ingredients. And they must be as follows. White bread. Doesn't matter if you're not normally a white bread sort of person. I don't like it on any other thing, but it's incredibly important for this grilled cheese sandwich that you use white bread. I use Sara Lee, but anything that's kind of on the cheaper side, you don't want anything too complicated. You want it to be soft, but just firm enough that, using a knife on it isn't going to completely destroy it. You're also gonna need 2 slices of American cheese. And yes, I cannot stress enough, this needs to be American cheese. I know, it's not good cheese by any stretch of the imagination. I don't really like it on any other thing, but the way it melts is perfect and fantastic and exactly what we need. Now, you don't have to have this part, but this is personally one of my favorites. I like to put a slice of tomato in it, because even if I don't have time for some tomato soup, then I still got a little bit of that flavor with me. You're gonna want 1 slice of tomato. And the last thing you're gonna need, obviously, is butter. And here is where you're gonna splurge a tiny bit. Obviously, this entire thing in general is not a spendy meal, but this is where it's worth spending a little extra cash, is on your butter. I use Kerrygold, naturally soft, pure Irish butter, salted sweet cream butter, and it's fantastic. This is one of the few things I actually use it for, but it's so important. You cannot use margarine. Not any old butter will do. You need to splurge for the good butter. This will change the entire flavor of the entire sandwich if you get a shitty butter. Trust me. It has been tested through Callaghan Labs over and over again, over the course of nearly 30 years. You need to have your bread, la 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 la, and you need to have your butter. Now, this has been softened. It's been left out for a bit, obviously. It's not melted, however. Well, it's kind of starting to melt a tiny bit because the lights are really hot. But that's not the point. Okay. So, very, very softly. And you're going to run this over The entire thing. It is incredibly important that you cover this entire piece of bread. You'll notice it is completely covered. There are no bare spots. It's not slathered, but it's nicely covered. There's good coverage there. You do not need to butter both sides of the bread. That's a little too much for my taste, frankly. And I'm trying to make this taste like home, not like Paula Deen's home. Now this, it is very important when you turn it on, you turn it down very low. It's very important that this be on a very low heat. The problem with a lot of restaurants and why they tend to burn their grilled cheese and then it doesn't actually get cheesy melted goodness is because the grill is too hot because they're used to cooking burgers. Yeah, that's right. That's the amount of research I put into this. One piece, butter side down. One piece of cheese, tomato, put it on. This other piece of cheese, and you put it on the tomato. Butter side up, dry side down on top of the cheese. And now we wait. Have your trusty spatula at the ready. If you're cooking multiple sandwiches, the first one is going to take the longest because it has to actually heat up. Some people heat up their skillet before they do it, and that's fine too. Waiting is the worst. Now you're going to start to notice some things. You'll be able to see that the underside of your cheese is starting to cook. Flip it. I've actually flipped it a little too early, so now I feel silly. So I'm going to flip that one more time. Of course, when I make it with a camera rolling, I do that too early. So what you want is a nice golden brown. And that's one of the main reasons of why I think it's super important to always go with white bread, because you can't really see it on wheat bread. Like, you get a nice sort of bronzishness to the already nice, beautiful brown color, but it's a lot harder to see where you've cooked it a little too much, or worst case, where you've undercooked it. Ah, that's beautiful. See that? Got a nice, oh, see, this is a little bit more soft than I'd like, so I'm gonna actually let this cook a little bit longer. There's my good friend DJ Cricket on the chirping. Go DJ Cricket. When you are turning, you wanna try your best to like keep the integrity of this nice firmness. Like, you don't wanna break that if you can. There's nothing worse than a soggy grilled cheese. I think even a burnt grilled cheese might be better than a soggy grilled cheese, in my opinion. Then it's just like a warmed up cheese. Nobody wants that. Archer certainly doesn't want that. Archer wants you to grill him a cheese. All right, one more flip. Yeah, look at that. Look at how nice that looks. And then I think it completes it when it's cut diagonally. But you should have a glorious melt of cheese that you're, ooh, see? Ah, that liquefaction. It's molten, but I love it. That your tomato is swimming in. So that is the ideal goal here. And that's it. That is how you make my grilled cheese sandwich that tastes exactly like childhood and home. Ooh, it's hot. It's so good, though. It's so good. A little molten. Don't care. Still delicious. Great for pairing with some good old-fashioned Campbell's soup, tomato. Again, keep it simple. Childhood was not about the gourmet things. And if you like the gourmet things, that's great. But this, to me, is what you do for comfort food. This is what you do when you do pajama cartoon parties with your adult friends. You want to feel like little kids again. This is childhood. It was pure happiness and sunshine. And my different testing of how to get to this perfection is probably what made me lactose intolerant, to be completely honest. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below. And, of course, stay curious. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.